There's another aspect. We've talked about creating wealth and protecting it. What happens to transferring it to the next generation? How important is this? Because more often than not, even if there's a lot of wealth left, sometimes it's stuck in litigation, which you already referred to in our previous conversation. So to avoid all that, how do you make the process seamless of transferring wealth from one generation to another?
I think this is one place where psychologically it's very difficult to think. Most human beings are not able to come to terms with the fact that we all have a finite life,
yeah.
and planning for it it's become a very rare phenomena. So I think, and it's 100%. This is 100% probability. Risk might have low probability, but this is 100% probability for an event which is sure to happen. Not planning for it, we plan the least. So it should be done. How does it get done? In India, it's actually reasonably complex, so that makes it more important for you to do, right? You have to have registered wills, you have to have transparency to your will, it needs to have clear documentation, it needs to have a modification if there are nominations not syncing with your investments. Your entire will can go for a probate, which is nothing but a court order to dismantle your assets, and that can take you a year. In that 1 year period, you can make no changes to the assets. When you see a lot of people running pillar to post to access their own parents' money or spouse's money, then you think it's ironical that the person actually earned that money in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, and couldn't spend about 5 hours to make sure that that was seamlessly transmitted.
So all that wealth creation, protection nullifies if there's no transmission or transferring this to the people who you're doing this for, right?
Absolutely. I think it'll be ironical if you don't plan the last step.
I know this is a tough one, but when does one need to start worrying about this? Is it related to your life cycle again?
See, I think more so younger people need to plan for this.
Okay.
Surprisingly, when I've seen situations where a younger person suddenly has not been able to live that longer as he envisaged, what he is left behind is far more messier than a person who's 75 years old, because he's already come to terms that he is in the last lap of life maybe. But a person who's 30, and if there's a sudden demise, there's so much left undone. So I think younger people who have liabilities, especially who have liabilities, need to plan this.
Yeah, because it's not just about inheriting wealth, it's also about inheriting liabilities that you will end up with.
One important part is when you actually have yourself insured, and if there is a liability, if you have an insurance and if you have a sudden demise, you get the money, but the money needs to be managed very well till the goals arrive. You can't get your child married at a younger age just because you've got the money
sitting there.
So giving the capability to the dependent to manage the money is as important as giving the money itself. So you'll have to train the next generation or train the spouse enough to be able to handle this extra money which you've got and make sure that it's working till the goals actually arrive.